The first of its kind ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Award. The Times Now and ICICI Bank honoured the NRIs for their contribution to society through various means.
My message to all of you is plant more trees, use less water, do more recycling and do not use the plastic bags. And remember, everything on this earth can be recycled, but not time. So take action fast before time runs out.
Everybody, I think, in this hall recognizes that cancer is bad, period. There's nothing beyond that. And if cancer affects a child, it devastates the entire family. And so curing children with cancer has become my passion, and I decided to dedicate my entire life toward it.
Let's have a look at the winners from the student category who proved their mettle in their respective fields in different parts of the world.
She conducts clinical work in regard to blood disorders in children. Her passion to provide expert therapeutic care to children affected with cancer and other blood-related malignancies and equip herself to battle this horrifying disease has won Mala Kiran Talekar, the NRI Student of the Year, USA.
I grew up in a very small town at the outskirts of Mumbai, Ulhasnagar, in a small middle-class family. My father, Gopal Shivani, was a bank manager. My mother used to work in Bombay Port Trust, but then later was basically a housewife taking care of four of us. I'm the eldest of four siblings. Growing up, my parents never let me feel that I'm a girl and there's only so much that a girl should do or can do. The two lines that my dad said always stick with me, and that is, "Jo dar gaya so mar gaya, and jo jeeta wahi sikandar." And I've lived with that. He never let me feel that you shouldn't do something because you're scared, and you shouldn't do something because you think you will not be able to do it. I always learned to take any obstacle that came as a challenge. I topped in my school in the 10th grade. I topped in math in my 12th grade, and then achieved very good marks in math and science. And then I joined the medical school, JJ Medical College, Grand Medical College, and JJ Group of Hospitals. I passed that with honors, and then I decided to do pediatrics. The reason why I did pediatrics was very interesting. I always was scared to touch a child who was ill because I thought I'm going to hurt the child. But our last year of medical school is an internship year, which I chose to do in a semi-rural hospital, which is a Thane Civil Hospital. And in that 1 month rotation, my attending, she got a threatened abortion. So she basically had to go on bed rest, and there was no replacement coming in. So essentially, I spent 3 weeks taking care of any child that would come to that hospital by myself, talking to her on the phone and reading up from the textbook and trying. And at that time, the epidemic of dengue and leptospirosis was going on. So I was treating children with different illnesses by myself and getting that experience. And that made me feel, I think I can do this. When you see the smile on a child who was ill and is now getting better, there's nothing more satisfying than that. I did pediatrics from Harkishandas Hospital in Girgaon, Mumbai. And during that training, that's when I came across children with cancer. And that was absolutely shocking and devastating to find out that a child who is a picture of joy for each family, when they have cancer, the entire family is shattered. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to trust. They don't know what resources to seek, where to go, what to do. They have no idea. And it's like cancer means death. At that time, we did not have enough resources. We did not have good protocols to treat children with cancer. Whatever protocols we had, whatever treatment we had, was more derived from what is being done for adults. So, okay, there's an adult with blood cancer. This is what we give to adults, so let's give the same to children. But children are not just little adults. They are their own people. Their cancer is not at all similar to an adult's cancer. Adults go through lifestyle stuff, smoking, alcohol, and that's what gives them the cancer. It's not true for children. It's completely different. They need their own treatment. And then we would give some treatment to the kids, and then after a certain stage, either they would relapse or, okay, now you need a transplant. So where do I go? There's only the All India Institute of Medical Sciences that does transplant, or Tata Memorial Hospital. How much does a transplant cost? 12 lakh rupees. There was no way that these kids could get to that, and so basically die. And that's not something that I could bear. And I spoke with Dr. Mukesh to say, what could I do? There's not dedicated training for pediatric oncology. Now there is, but at that time, there wasn't. So he said, if you want to get dedicated training in pediatric oncology, go to United States of America, go to CHOP. And that's what I did. I think the moment I stepped into my fellowship, that's when I started realizing my dream. There were so many children that we diagnosed with cancer. There are about 100 cases of cancer that we see in that institution alone every year. And I've seen them through diagnosis, through how they suffer through this, how they get better through this, how the tears and the pain turns into smiles, and how their families kind of are shocked and they don't know what to do when the diagnosis comes through, but then they are able to pull through with support, and we end up as a happy family together. I do not end up as being their doctor. I end up being as their family friend, as someone who's taking care of their child who had cancer, who could have died, but now has come back to life. And that's where I think is the fulfillment of my life. My vision for future is a world where we have no cancer. Of course, that's a very far-fetched dream, but at least for myself, I would want to see that any child who gets cancer gets cured. We have a cure for every childhood cancer. We see every child grow up. Right now, if you talk about cancer statistics, there is about 10 to 15 children out of every 100,000 children are diagnosed with cancer every year. That's a huge number if you just consider the population of India alone, leave alone the population of the world. And we are able to cure about depending on what type of cancer they have, somewhere between 60 to 80% of the children. That means about 6 to 8 children out of every 10. That means about 2 to 4 children out of every 10 die from cancer. That's not what it should be. I would want us to reach a number where at least 9, if not 10 out of 10 children are cured. If I would not have had the training that I got in India, I would not have achieved what I have so far. And so being Indian comes first and everything else comes after. The reason why I went out of the country was because we lack some resources, which I hope that when I am able to master those resources, I can serve as a bridge and collaborate and bring those treatments here. So being an NRI of the Year means a great deal to me. I really commend Times Now for conceptualizing this amazing endeavor and giving us a sense of belonging, that even though we are working outside the country, we still belong. We are still Indians, and it's Indians out there who are doing this great stuff and achieving in various different fields and proving their merit.
The youngest winner of the first ever NRI Student of the Year from the UAE. His efforts in raising awareness of the use of paper instead of plastic has been recognized by the UN. Paper Bag Boy Abdul Muqeed is an extraordinary student with a heart of an environmentalist and the will to bring a change in the world around him.
I started a campaign against the usage of plastic bags and spread awareness in the community of recycling newspapers. I started this campaign of the reduce of usage of plastic bags because plastic bags are harming the environment a lot in many ways. It takes many years to decompose, it kills many animals, so I thought that I have to raise awareness and stop the usage of plastic bags. My family and my friends, everybody, when they saw that I started a nice campaign of reducing the usage of plastic bags, they also reduced the usage of plastic bags and use eco-friendly bags. And I did many workshops, more than 120 workshops internationally. So many companies, organizations, peoples all around the world have stopped the usage of plastic bags. United Nations had chosen me to represent the Middle East in their environmental program in Indonesia. When I went there, I saw many children who had come from all parts of the globe, who came to share their experiences of saving environment and their ideas. I learned many ways of saving water, saving environment. I met many people and shared my ideas of reducing the usage of plastic bags and all. There were many challenges during my 4 years of campaign, but main was of time management, of playing, studying and doing my campaign. The impact of my campaign is that many organizations, kids and in my community, many people have reduced the usage of plastic bags and are continuously spreading awareness with their friends and families of reducing the usage of plastic bags and using eco-friendly bags. In the summer holidays, when I go to my home city in Jaipur, Rajasthan, there also I don't stop and have fun, but I spread awareness of reducing the usage of plastic bags in my community. And as that, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan has banned the usage of plastic bags, and I was very happy with this. And also many organizations, schools had invited me for workshops, and I went to the famous St. Xavier School also, and there also I went to 12th and 11th standard and gave them workshops of making gift bags. My role model and inspiration is Mahatma Gandhi because of his great quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I want to see a world without the usage of plastic bags, and I hope that our generations further won't use the plastic bags and plastic bags will be completely banned and more recycling will be done. I want to be a footballer at Manchester City as a centre defensive midfield, and I want to I also want to do environmental works of saving water, reducing the usage of plastic bags. I am very happy that I have got this significant NRI of the Year award. I thank Times Now for giving me this prestigious award. I also thank them because of them, my message of my campaign of no plastic bag will be spread all over the world.
Winner of the NRI Student of the Year UK, aspiring doctor and stellar medical student, Hussein Khaki has won numerous national awards and is currently exploring treatment opportunities for HIV/TB patients.
I'm really passionate about using science to solve some of the world's biggest health challenges, particularly in infectious diseases. So, of course, part of my studies involve understanding some of the clinical basis of general medicine, but my particular interest has been in tuberculosis and malnutrition. And that is a particular problem in developing countries, and specifically in India, where there is a chronic shortage of food and availability of food. And the unfortunate thing is that plays very unfavorably to tuberculosis, where it's very important for people to be taking their medications on time and with a good balanced diet. So what we're trying to do is to understand the basis of this disease, tuberculosis, which we fully don't really understand about what it is and how we can best treat it, how we can best cure it or stop it from happening in the first place. And what I'd like to do is to see how that interplays with the malnutrition context. People who are malnourished, who don't have an adequate diet, for instance, are more likely to contract infectious diseases like tuberculosis. And because of that, their immune system is compromised and they're more likely to also get HIV and AIDS. And it becomes a very vicious cycle, especially because of the kinds of people who get these diseases are prone to maintaining that sort of lifestyle. And so what I would like to try and understand in the medium to long term is how we can unpick some of these areas and stop this interplay from happening in the first place. The World Health Organization has a remit to ensure that they've got these grand challenges of global health, one of which is the infectious diseases of malaria, HIV and tuberculosis. Now in 2015 that's going to run out, that these Millennium Development Goals is going to end, and there may be structural de-innovation of these areas. So it's really important that we galvanize support at a local, national and also international level to make sure that there is continued and sustained interest in these areas even after they become less popular. Because even if you can't hear the voices, doesn't mean those voices don't exist. And so what I'd really like to see in these developing countries, and I'd like, if possible, to be part of, is to ensure that in the long term we have a cadre of highly skilled international scientists who are going to solve these diseases. I think a country like India, which I obviously hold dear to my heart as a non-resident Indian, is actually very well placed to be one of the forerunners of this change. In the last 10 years we've seen medical innovation in India that hasn't been seen elsewhere around the world. Jaipur Fort, Aravind Eye Care, and also Dr. Devi Shetty in South India, who's working on some of these projects. And we have substantial quality that is coming out from all of these sectors across India, and it'll be really great to see how they can help their fellow compatriots towards achieving this objective. There have been some impacts. I could describe them as immediate, early and late. So the immediate impact that we've seen are the kind of emergency situations that we've tried to alleviate. So in East Africa we did a project on providing access to pain relief. Even though there's no diagnostic cures or things like diagnosis or cures that we can give to people who are on cancer treatments, we can provide them with immediate pain relief. And so that we've seen some relative success there. And early other good signs that we've seen is some of the malnutrition and education projects that we've done. The Imperial College Health Science Centre is actively involved, and I'm part of that, to help to ensure that, for instance, a child who is starting school in the morning who doesn't have adequate nutrition to start their day, their educational outcomes in the long term are going to be fairly poor. So what we've seen, the benefit of that work, is that we've been able to provide a specific nutritious content and say, they need this many bananas or this many almonds or whatever. And we've been able to advise different schools and local governments to ensure that every child has the best start in life. The biggest challenge now is not necessarily raising awareness of this agenda, but more trying to build all of these disparate groups who have altruistic intentions, it should be said. They do have altruistic intentions, but we don't always have the right ethos with which to approach international development programs. Well, I'm deeply grateful and humble to have won this award, and grateful to my parents for instilling that responsibility in me. But more so, I feel it gives us credence for some of the work that we've done. And if anything, if there's any students who may be watching this or hearing this conversation, I hope that they take motivation from the fact that if you have a small idea, however small you may think, however insignificant, if you run with it, if you dedicate your effort and enthusiasm towards that objective, then there are doors that open for you in places that you will never fully appreciate. And it's been really humbling for me to have enjoyed some success, but I know there is a lot more work to be done.
This exceptional student had a perfect score in her 10th grade CBSE board exams and a 2-time winner of APJ Abdul Kalam Award. Astha Chauhan is the winner of the NRI Student of the Year, Singapore.
I'm a Rajasthani. I'm from Rajasthan originally, but brought up in Chennai. And I moved to Singapore 7 years back with my family, my parents and my brother. We actually have a lot of relatives who live in India and split in 2 different places, that's Chennai and Bangalore. So we usually divide our holidays half and half so that we can give equal time to everybody who want to meet us. I love music. I listen to a lot of music, and I'm also learning Hindustani classical, which is going to help me improve my skills in music. I'm an active participant in a number of performing arts and a number of competitions in the field of music and dance. I have been the winner of the Global Indian Star, which is a Singapore level, a national level singing competition, and also a national level dance competition, that's JI's Jhankar. I have been very fortunate to be the head girl of my school. That's basically a pupil leader. A leader requires strong communication skills, not only as a good speaker but also as a good listener. And also a leader requires the right attitude, which is a go-getter attitude, and I personally believe that I possess these qualities, which has helped me become a good leader. These qualities and these leadership skills that I developed at a young age, I'm sure will take me a long way, and it'll help me a lot in future as well. My family has given me a number of opportunities to explore my skills and hone my skills as well. I've had a positive impact on my brother, and I'm sure he'll agree to this, although he keeps complaining that I set a high benchmark for him. One example of this is my brother's participation in the Hair for Hope campaign, in which he shaved off his head to support children with cancer. My parents have always supported me. My mother is a singer as well, so she's constantly been helping me in preparing for various competitions and helping and honing my skills. This award is basically a recognition of my academic as well as non-academic achievements in the fields of music, dance, drama and social service. It has given immense joy to my family, and I'm very, very happy about that. And it also motivates me to strive for greater heights in future.